Next audience question from Eddie. Eddie says, what are the most significant interactions you have had with police in your life? Well,
You know,
Lewis,
the funny thing is that, believe it or not, David is probably better suited to answer this question than I am.
I've told the story of when I was a few months shy of my 21st birthday. I had just arrived at a friend's little party somewhere with about 20 or 25 people in Massachusetts. I had served myself a beer in one of those red Solo cups that everybody knows about. I hadn't even taken a sip yet when there's a knock on the door. One of our friends yells from the back of the house, "Come in." I'm standing right in front of the door. In walk two police officers showing up because of a noise complaint. See me with my beer. I simply put it down. They say, "Hold on a second. How old are you?" And the rest is history. I ended up being taken downtown. Ultimately, it didn't make it onto my record. And it was one of the most ridiculous instances of police really missing the forest for the trees, because in their feverance, to quote Lewis, in their feverance in getting me downtown and proving a point, they ended the party by sending home tons of people with drunk drivers, saying, "Are you okay to drive?" "Yeah, sure." Never really checking on that, and forcing drunk drivers to drive people home. And it just was the most ridiculous incident, and that's the most significant interaction I've had with police, Lewis.
Yeah, some of my friends and I were doing stupid stuff one cabbage night, and we had an interaction with the police. It was quite a scene, but it really ended up being kind of anticlimactic. Nothing really happened. I mean, there were...
And
there was
remember,
one-
of course, Cabbage Night, the night before Halloween, where some people like to go out and cause chaos.
Right. Anarchy, if you will. But there was another time where I was stopped at a DUI checkpoint, a sobriety checkpoint, as some people call them. And I guess I annoyed the state trooper who was administering my sobriety test. So, right off the bat, he didn't like me. But I ended up passing. He ended up letting me go, and it wasn't a big deal, despite the fact that I had had several drinks. I was probably the most sober one in the vehicle. That's why I was driving it. It wasn't even my car. I mean, really, other than that, I mean, just about every interaction I've had with the police ended up with nothing happening, with both parties just parting ways.
Lewis, speaking of sobriety checkpoints, it's become very popular. On the internet, you see these videos where at sobriety checkpoints, people assert their constitutional rights by refusing to answer any questions. And sometimes it leads to some funny but also frustrating interactions with police, where you basically say, why am I being stopped? Am I suspected of a crime? I'm not answering any questions. Am I free to go? Are you detaining me? Blah, 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 blah. Would it ever cross your mind to engage police in that way, or does that just seem kind of like a waste of time to you?
It would depend on the situation. I think I've never, maybe at certain points when I was younger and had interactions with the police, I would have realized that I had that option. But more recently, I haven't had that option. But I am certainly open to doing that if I feel like there is really no reason for the cops to be questioning me. Yes.
All right, wow. So Lewis may be the next cop block internet hero. We will see if that ever surfaces on YouTube. If you do something like that, Lewis, please videotape it at least, so then we can, play it and talk about it on the show. This program is supported directly by you. Please go to davidpakman.com/membership to become a supporter today and get a whole bunch of great member benefits while doing it.